Welcome back to another episode of What Are You Made Of with your boy, the unstoppable Mike C-Roc. I'm in the house today with Dan Jourdan, also known as the Deej, or there's two people maybe. There might be an alter ego, the Deej, but we'll find out here in this interview. But Dan is known across the globe as the sales energizer. He is a true salesman and prospector who lives and loves the game. His superpower is taking businesses from startup to sale and training others to do the same. We'll get into the rest of this bio as we do in the interview. But Dan, I want to welcome you to the What Are You Made Of show.
This is awesome, man. I'm telling you, the whole concept of your show is dynamite. It's absolutely right. Because, everybody looks at people and say, this is where they are, but nobody sees, the duck going crazy underneath the water when they got started. So this is a perfect way. This is a perfect way to figure it out.
Thank you. And I just used that analogy about the duck. Are you on Clubhouse at all?
I'm not. I'm not a Clubhouse. I'm not in the club.
Well, Clubhouse is like audio and has these pictures of people, and you can't tell what those people are really doing while they're on the app if they're not talking. Mm-hmm. And I'm on there and it might just look like my picture, but I'm just like a duck on water, man. I'm networking. I'm hammering people's bios and shooting messages out, connected behind the scenes, and people would have no clue unless I'm reaching out to them. And I just used that duck on the water just earlier today. So that's wild that you said that.
We're on the same telepathic wave. That's awesome.
So before we get too much further, we always start the show with the tradition of asking the question, what are you made of?
What am I made of? Which is a great question. And I don't know if it's good or not, but I'm well prepared for that one. I am my father's son. And so quick story. So my dad lost his father when he was 13 years old in Auschwitz, like in the Holocaust, in the concentration camp. So my dad was from France. And so somehow after all big stories, he came here and never had a bad day. And just loved America and loved opportunity. And when he didn't give me much advice, he only had a 6th grade education. But whenever he gave me something, it would start like this. He would say, Danny, in this country. And then he'd give me his stuff. And one of them was this. And it's a little deeper than people like to get, but it was very impactful on me. And perhaps it'll help somebody else to understand, kind of how good we have it. But he would say, Danny, in this country, on your worst day, they don't throw babies in the air and catch them on pitchforks. I'm like, wow. I mean, like, hello, welcome to junior high. I mean, that's, and so every day I wake up and I truly, people say, I'm blessed. I truly feel blessed to be alive right now in the greatest place in the world, in the greatest time to be alive. Never has there been a more a time for that someone can get started, an opportunity, and just a peaceful coexistence with everyone else. It's a great time to be around, and I'm just so blessed to be here.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love it. So going back to that, when your dad came here, what like business did he get into?
Oh, well, that's a challenge. When immigrants come, they got, as he would say, I got Gunish. Gunish means nothing in Yiddish. And, his famous thing to me was he always owned small businesses and he could do with his hands, but he would never describe himself as a businessman. He would say, Danny, I'm a shopkeeper. You need to do something. All I know is how to do this. You need to do something. And so I graduated high school. My dad said to me, so Danny, what are you going to do? And I said, I had some plans or what have you. And he said, okay, do what you want. Because Danny, remember this. In this country, you get a job, you have one customer, and he's called a boss. And if he gets a wild hair up his tuchus and decides to fire you, you got Gunish. You got nothing. But Danny, in this country, you're a salesman, you have 100 bosses, but they're called customers. And one of them fires you. Who cares? You got 99 more.
Exactly.
He said, financial security doesn't come with having a job. Financial security comes with the ability to earn an income, to find a customer anytime, any place, anywhere. Learn how to talk to people and you'll be fine.
Yeah. And that's the thing. So on that topic, it's one thing to be able to sell somebody something, handle objections, close, all that. But prospecting is such an important deal that most salespeople miss out on and they don't go after. And so I'd love for you to talk about this because I know you're a professional prospector. I believe
Yeah, I love it.
I'm the same way. Like I'll go after, it doesn't matter to me. If I want to connect with somebody, I'm after it.
Yeah, that's it.
So I'd love to hear your take on that.
I'm the world's best cold caller. Until I met you, I've never met my equal. But
well, wait a minute. But you started before there was the internet. So I think I did too, but you were professional, like really, really expert at it. And I have that ability. So
no, I love everything cold. I just like, I like cold, I like cold showers, cold pizza, cold calls, cold toilet seats. I like the whole thing. It's just there's something more for me. It's somewhat spiritual. It's almost godlike. I would tell my sister, I'm having this conversation with her and we're having a somewhat godly conversation. I said, Juliet, listen, hey, go ahead and make that blade of grass. I mean, just from nothing, start with nothing and make that blade of grass. Just you start with, you have no, and that's what sales is. Sales is here you start with nothing, and you find somebody who wants something and you find somebody who can make something and you put them together and all of a sudden the commission comes out of nowhere. You had nothing and now you have something. And to me, that's it's miraculous and it wakes me up. It's just a beautiful thing. We're humans. We're made to create. We've been created. We're made to create. And here we have the opportunity to create every single day by interacting with fellow human beings. I mean, it's the best business in the world.
Why do some people think it's so hard?
Because they have expectations. They have the wrong expectations. So I'm trying to create something. They're trying to sell something. And it's not rewarding. Yeah. And also there's a stigma to it. I remember even my family, my mother, it was like her, I guess she was leaving her job and it was the end, after 30 years and they had this big party for her. And so all families were there and I'm there. And so I'm schmoozing with people and I'm talking and somebody went up to my mother and said, your son, he's very nice. And she talked, and within earshot, I was listening to this and I heard my mother say, well, he's a salesman. It's like the worst thing, like he's insincere, he's unkind, whatever it is. Right. It's like all the stereotypes are there. It's the exact opposite, but that's it. And so people are brought up with that.
Yeah, my mom used to say that too. Yeah.
People, how's a long time she was like, so how's Danny doing? She said, well, she was always afraid to tell people he was in sales. So she'd say, well, he's in between jobs.
Well, no, when people have a negative connotation about sales or they make comments like that, aren't they really talking about themselves and the fact that they don't think they're good at it or could do it?
The thing is, people are good at anything that they're truly passionate about. Now, I'm not passionate about sales. I love the sales business. I'm passionate about the sales business. I'm not passionate about closing and things like that. And because of that, people see it. One of my secret passions, loves is classical music. It's just, I've always liked it. And whatever, you don't have to go into it. But if you go on YouTube right now, and you find some just cello music or a violinist or whatever, every musician, every choral singer, somebody playing, singing Ode to Joy at the end of Beethoven's Ninth Symphony, you just look at their face, they're beautiful. I mean, they're gorgeous. They're so attractive. They're irresistible. You can't stop watching. Yeah. And it's because they have this passion and it comes out in their face. It comes out of their pores. You crave that when you see it in something else. And the opposite is, I hate sales. And so you look like a grumpy old sow and nobody wants to hang with you anyway.
Right. Right.
That's
Right.
what it is.
So with prospecting, do you think that most people get the idea and the expectation of prospecting wrong, where they think that they're supposed to close somebody and get a yes on that first connection with someone?
Yeah, well, so the difference is,
And then,
you're absolutely right, and this is a big point that I make all the time in all sorts of training. Whenever I do keynotes, the whole shebang, and that is prospecting and sales are two different things. If they were the same things, they would be spelled the same. Prospecting and marketing, they're two different things, so you can't treat them with the same science. What prospecting is, and the best way to think about it is a billboard. And so you're driving down the highway and you see a billboard of, let's say, a big giant Subway sandwich, a $5 foot long, which is like $6.99 now, right?
yeah.
And so you're driving by and you see this, giant tuna fish sandwich, but it's 8:30 in the morning, and you're like, I'm not interested. And so you just drive by. Do you think the people in Subway are like, oh my God, we just lost another one? Those look
Rejection.
Yeah, they're not thinking about rejection. They don't care about the people that drive by. They care about the ones that are hungry and come in now. What prospecting is just simply to see if somebody's hungry. Hey, are you hungry? I'm not selling. I just want to see if you're hungry.
Right.
Great. Now I have an opportunity to put you somewhere else. But if you think that you need to sell, you're done, because it's just not frustrating. I can tell you, as a matter of fact, somebody on the way home, all of a sudden at 3:30, hasn't eaten all day, is interested in the $5 footlong.
Damn right. And they'll pay $10.99 for it.
Exactly. And so prospecting is finding out if you can get somebody to raise their hand, to say, I'm hungry, and now you have something you can work with. I was working with a client just yesterday who's paying a lot of money to do like an infomercial, actually working with Kevin Harrington. With the short thing, he's doing a lot of stuff there. And they're just stressing over the offer. What are we going to do? I don't want to give them too much, because then, if I have to pay $20 to get a $10 sale, it's not worth it. I'm like, guys, you're nuts. I mean, you're going to get a $10 sale, but you also get a customer who's interested. What's the lifetime value of this person? It could be thousands of dollars that you're getting for only $20. Prospecting is just to get someone to raise their hand and say, I'm hungry. And then you can go to work.
Right. And then it's follow-up, right? Follow-up is the name of the game. And so let me ask you this. So prior to the internet, prospecting was phone calls, live visits, maybe some direct mail.
Yeah.
But since the internet has exploded and digital marketing is going crazy, what has changed for you in what you teach and what you actually did for yourself, for your business?
Yes. Well, first of all, let me correct something you said before. It's not just follow up, it's follow through.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You want to keep the follow.
Yeah.
But as far as what's changed is nothing's went away, but other things have been added to it. So of course, you get a different type of customer when you do, or a different type of prospect when you market through the internet and funnels and all that stuff, or Facebook ads and all that you're doing, than you do on the phone. So if you're looking for larger customers, I still use the phone. I still find it as my best entry in there. But once somebody comes into that funnel, prospecting is just to bring people into the funnel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. The rest of the stuff is still the same. You're going to follow through with emails. You're going to follow through with text. You're going to follow through with visits. You're going to follow through with, more phone calls. You're going to follow through with gifts. You're going to follow through with all the things you would normally do. So the only thing that's changed is there's more ways to get people into the funnel.
Right.
And so, you do them all and try them all, and everything works and nothing works.
Yeah. Now going back to the day, we'll go ahead.
You got to have 5 tentacles out at all times.
I say 8.
Oh, you say 8? Okay.
Yeah, only because like we talk about the octopus a lot, and and the 8 tentacles. And I used to think 5 to survive. That was like the number. One of the mentors or sales trainers said that to me one day, and I used to use that. But then I'm like, well, we might as well add 3 more and just become octopuses. So
That's
anyway,
right. I like it. Okay, I'm gonna take them.
if five works, eight works better.
I learned it from a real crude guy, and he said, I pretend that I have 5 schnitzels, and my underwear fits like a glove. That was his thing, and so that's how I always remember.
So take us back when you started paying attention and being mentored and trained in sales. Who were your favorite mentors?
Oh, it's the thing is, I love them all. And the ones that got the most grief, I liked even more. So like right now, I'm loving Grant Cardone, just because he has a lot of haters. And I figure if the reason why a lot of people hate him for their own reasons, but he's got to be doing something right because he's getting noticed. So, getting started, I was old school guys, but it was Dennis Waitley, it was Zig Ziglar, it was Jim Rohn, of course. Jeffrey Gitomer's a good inspiration, still around now. We talk regularly, and so those kind of old school guys, Tom Hopkins.
Yeah.
But now they're all good. Dan Kennedy, when it comes to marketing, I'm still into that. Gary Halbert, of course, Russell Brunson now, and the whole crew.
Yeah.
And so I love them all, read them all.
Yeah. So man, I was back in the day, I used to sell golf balls on a golf course when I was 8. I would find them out of the pond and sell them to the golfers. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I was just like trying to get candy money, right? I didn't really understand the concept. But then I went into in-home sales. And man, let me tell you something. I luckily didn't have to door knock. We had a telemarketing department. They would set up appointments for water tests, and I would go around and sell RainSoft systems. I don't know if you've heard of that or not. Yeah. So I did that for 9 years. And cut my teeth in sales. I don't know how I lasted 9 years because I hated it. Honestly.
That's crazy.
But you know what I hated most about it?
What?
I would go into houses that would cost less than what I was selling. And the people needed it because the water was bad, but it still didn't feel right. Like it just didn't feel, I don't know.
Yeah.
So anyway, I cut my teeth in that, was able to go from, the whole sales cycle. And then I got into the real estate and the mortgage business, and the mortgage business was easy when it came to that. Yeah. Because like people actually needed like right away. I need a loan. I need a loan. I need a loan. We were teaching the people about the water and how bad it was and trying to tell them that they needed something and show them they needed something. So I went into that. So the reason I'm telling you this is that, as a new loan officer, I have 30 employees right now, and we do great. I'm always pushing them to do better, but we're working on bringing new people in and scaling. And I want to go after new people that haven't been in the mortgage business before.
Oh yeah. You don't want that.
Yeah. Because the old guys, they have their habits and all that. And we have a certain culture and all that. Anyway, the new people, if you had somebody coming into your business that was brand new, let's say a loan officer, what would you guide them on the first 3 steps that they should do as soon as on their first day of the job?
Ooh, well, let me get there, but let me just start off. I think you're in the right place with the way you started. I always tell everybody, you bring a blue collar, hardworking attitude to a white collar business. The person cannot be stopped.
Yeah.
So that's the whole thing. If you're of that hustling door to door, I sold when I first had my first business was a deli in New Jersey, but during that time I was branching out doing other stuff, and I started selling like frozen food in people's houses, and you would sell them a freezer and pack up the thing. It was the same thing. It was like, you guys, it's a trailer home, and I just spent $3,000 worth of food. What are you doing? It's a hurricane's going to come wipe the whole thing out. And so, but that type of attitude in the white collar world get you going. And so, so the first thing, you get someone like that, you got to make sure it's old school thing, but it's a numbers game. But when I say, I think cold calling is the best training, the best sales training. Oh,
by the way, Dan, I don't mean to interrupt you. One thing though, I just want to clarify something. I go through and teach my people all this stuff, but sometimes it's good to hear from someone else. And I have my team, by the way, listen to these podcasts.
Oh, okay.
And so this podcast is there's numerous reasons that I do the podcast, but one.
All right. Well, then let me give this. I'll tell you the first.
But I just want you to know that,
okay. That's good. See, free training. I'm going to teach you guys magic right now. This is like secret stuff that nobody knows. There's 3 things, by the way, that people will give you if you ask for it. Only 3 things. Okay. One is advice. People love giving advice. Is great. You ask for somebody's advice. Oh my gosh, because not only do they feel that need to help somebody and take them under their wing and shuttle them across the goal line, but you've just complimented them. I mean, nobody asks for advice from an idiot, but if you guys are on the on the phone with a customer and say, and they don't want to do it, they say, and the person just said, I tell you what, I'm done selling, but let me just ask your advice. If you were me and, knowing somebody who you think needs this and really help them, what would you suggest that I do? Just something like that. Who knows what'll happen, but oh my gosh, it'll be great. The second thing is an opinion. Everybody's got an opinion, that story, but here's the big one. Help. If you were to walk into a department store right now and a salesperson comes up to you, what do they say to you?
Can I help you?
Can I help? It's their job. If you call a receptionist and the receptionist answers the phone, hello, this is Johnson Enterprises. How may I help you? It's their job. So if you come to them and ask for help, it's so seamless and it's so congruent. They just love it. It fits great. So the 7 magic words are, I wonder if you could help me. So when you call somebody on the phone, the first thing you never say is how you doing today. Because when you say, how are you doing today? Sure. What they hear is cold caller, back up, they want to, you start literally building up. You start building up a wall between you and your prospect, and then you have to fight your way through. It's not good. Instead of, you just take that away and use the 7 magic words. First thing to learn is hello. So let's ring.
Let's role play.
Say hello.
Hello.
Hey, is this C-Roc?
Yeah, this is C-Roc.
Hey, see, real quickly, I wonder if you could help me. My name's Dan, and the reason I'm calling is, and you're off to the races.
Yeah.
But you got to say hello. I wonder if you could help me.
Yeah,
and
I love that.
Just makes things so much easier. So that's the first thing. And then as far as keeping somebody going through the weeks and all that stuff, it's like they really need coaching, almost like teammates. They really need another person with them throughout the first few weeks. Nobody can handle this on their own.
Yeah, coaching and accountability, right? Because they're trying to hit, you got to set targets for them to hit, right?
Yeah, but only on the things that they can control. Celebrate the effort and the results will come. But you have to say, a lot of people call about KPIs. We always coach towards KBIs, key behavioral indicators. And so, because the only thing you can control is your attitude and your behaviors. And so if your goal is to, talk to this many people or make this many attempts or whatever the thing is, only, manage the things you can control. And that if you talk to, back in the day when I was a stockbroker, it was 300 dials a day. 300, it was 60 an hour, or you're 50 to 60 an hour, and you'd go for 6 or 8 hours, and you just pound away. Nobody got. I was a terrible stockbroker.
By the way, you did that, didn't you?
Yeah.
I think I thought I read it about you. Yeah.
I was a stockbroker at Smith Barney.
Was it like a boiler room?
Oh, yeah, it was the old boiler. Everybody remembered. I'm not talking about some $400 a year working Wall Street stiff who flies first class and is comfortable. I'm talking about being liquid, being rich enough to own your own plane, rich enough not to waste time. $50, $100 million, buddy, a player. Like everybody, that would be like part of our morning meeting. You had to recite the lines from Wall Street. I mean, that was. I want to hear a great. This was the worst closing line that was written down for you to use. It was this one. Is someone say, I want to pass, and said, you want to pass? And like somebody said that,
I want to pass.
You put them on mute and you'd scream it. He asked me if I want to pass, and everybody would come over like to your phone and listen. You put them on speakerphone, and this was the line you were supposed to say. Let me tell you something, Mr. Jones. The only people that earn money by passing are NFL quarterbacks. And I don't see a number on your jersey. So listen, let's go ahead and do this. Let's pick up 1,000 shares and run across the end zone together. Okay? You'd say that was the closing line. Okay?
And did it work?
It worked to get customers. It did not work to get clients.
Yeah. Yeah. Transactional instead of
It was
transformative.
very transactional.
Yeah.
Though there was one person that I said, "Hey, I'll call him Mr. Jones again." I go, "Mr. Jones, listen, I know you said you're going to pass, and I've got a great closing line for you. I don't expect it to work, but you want to hear it. You're really going to like it."
Yeah. Yeah. I'll take it.
And
I'll
then I
take it.
gave it to him.
And then you was like,
That guy became a client.
gotcha. Cause you did something different and you set it up.
Warm it up. There are times on a sales call. I love this. Because the conversation's going really well, and I'll say, so listen, I know we're going to wind up doing something together. I'm about ready to close. Can I give it to you now?
Yeah, let's go.
And I'll say it like that. And so you're smiling, and you can't when you there is. You're saying yes. Yes just tells me, just by saying it, that you have an open mind. When someone says no, you really can't go you lose the ability for critical thought, for future thought. When you say I can't, you'll find reasons why you can't.
Yep.
And so anything you need to do in a conversation to open their mind, to get them to say yes. That's why, like, for when you're giving your presentations with your guys, or your pitches, as we used to call them, you try to get them to nod their head 3 or 4 times before you actually ask the question. So the head nodding would sound something like this: like, Mr. Jones, listen, if you're like the rest of the people that are looking for mortgages right now, you want like 3 things. You want the best rate, you want it to be done quickly, and you want it to be done with the least amount of stress. Am I pretty close to the truth?
Yeah.
See, I just got you to nod your head 4 times.
Yep.
And I didn't use the 3 words. See, there's 3 words you never want to use in sales. They literally repel your customers. And there's 3 words that attract them. So the 3 words that repel are I, we, and us. And so, because nobody cares about I, we, and us, they care about themselves, right? So the 3 words that attract are you, yours, and I'm in the South, so I say y'all. But
you all.
You all, that's right. So in that sequence, if you're like most of the other people looking for mortgages right now, you want this, and you want this. And then I say, am I pretty close to the truth? Yes. And so now you got them open. And I told you exactly what I do without saying I, we, or us.
Yep. Love it. Well, I want to respect your time. I can go on all day with you. Obviously, this is right up my alley here. But how can my audience engage with you, Dan?
Listen, it's very good for me to access other people, and I'm very accessible myself. So I have a telephone number. You could text me, or you can call me. I answer my own phones when I can. You always get a response, and I look forward to it. So you can put the number up there, but it's 678-910-9912.
And your website is danjourdan.com, right?
That's it.
It's Dan, J-O-U-R, danjourdan.com. Go check him out, guys. Dan, thank you so much for being here. And I just want you to know, like you mentioned, Grant Cardone, we started a tech incubator with Grant, and I have a product called Blueprinted, which I'm going to share with you because it could probably help your business and your customers. And I'll have my assistant, Kim, reach out to you to set up a 15-minute call just so you can be aware of it. You can be aware of it. And I'm sure you would love that, wouldn't you?
I would. And I need Grant to know the Deej. So you make sure you mention me somehow.
I'll see him Saturday. I'm actually going up there. So I'll see him Saturday. I'll mention you. So, but I want to thank you for being here. Gratitude is important to me. And I just want you to know, I really appreciate you taking the time to do this today. And if there's anything I can ever do for you, just ask.
Yeah. I appreciate you very much. Dan. You guys have a great day. Go sell something today, will you?
Thank you. You guys have been listening to the What Are You Made Of podcast with your boy, Mike C-Roc, the unstoppable and the unstoppable Dan Jourdan, also known as the Deej. Go check him out. Dan Jourdan with Jourdan, danjourdan.com. Till next time, be unstoppable.